Alright, what's going on YouTube? We're back with another YouTube video, which is something that I very sadly have not uploaded in a long time. And there are good reasons behind that, but ignoring those reasons, which are for a later blog, maybe, or vlog, I should say, we're just going to get right into this episode. Now, if you don't know why I'm here and why this is a new series, because if you can tell by the title, this is a brand new series that I have not started before, I wanted to get into something new and kind of step away from Unreal Engine for a while. I'm going to try and pick that back up. I have to do some computer repairs, but I thought I'd do something less graphically intensive on my computer, because that is the issue right now, and work on coding, which is a very good industry to get into, and something that can be very rewarding and fun once you're done with your bits of code. And it's always great to see something like I'm a coder, or I know Java, or even I'm a beginner in Java. They any technology people would love that, because if that's the field that you're trying to work in, they can teach you and help you with that. What we're using, which downloads will be in the description, we're using something called Eclipse, Java SE, and JDK. These are all Java version 8. I will show in another episode that will be uploaded, that is uploaded before this episode, as a precursor to show how to set up everything that is going on in this episode. So when you start up Eclipse, you'll see Eclipse Launcher, and it will want you to pick a workspace folder. I'm making a new one for YouTube. I'm just gonna hit OK there, and it's gonna create that workspace on my other monitor. And it's starting Eclipse. Now you can't see the Eclipse start, but it should say, depending on which Eclipse version you download. I did Eclipse Neon 2. It should show Eclipse Neon 2, a little splash screen and a loading bar below that. That'll be loaded up here real quick. Let me drag that from my other monitor to my recording monitor. Alright, so we're greeted with something like this. And this is just the intro, just to try and get you started if you're new, if you want to learn about the IDE, if you want to learn about Java, or if you want to import stuff and you are very experienced with Java and this IDE and you just want to get started. So what we're going to do is we're not going to mess with anything. We're going to click this little button over here, or you can click Create New Java Project, whichever you want, but I'm going to click this little button, and this is going to be the workspace that we want. Now I'm going to exit out of the welcome because I don't really need that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this little drop-down menu and click on Java Projects. This is the new menu, and I'm going to make a new Java project. Now I'm going to just call this project name YouTube 1. Now my naming isn't the best, but it's not terrible. And we're just going to use Java SE and 1.8, and that's all you need. So we'll just hit finish there, and now we're in the folder, in the Java project. So we need to make a class. Now, if you don't know too much about Java and how the code works and how the codes interact with each other, and the function of codes, and how classes work, and the fact that Java is an object-based code, you can look into that on other websites. If you would like me to make a slideshow or make a little video explaining that in depth, I can do that. Just throw that in the comment section saying, hey, I want you to explain to us, what Java is and kind of how it interacts with itself. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a class. And I'm going to, throughout this, kind of be describing some of the do's and don'ts and some of definitions of things. So class is a giant segment of code. A class is kind of like the parent of the code. If the class is that little piece of code that you write. Without a class, there is no code. So I'm going to put this in a package. Default packages aren't recommended, so name your package. I'm just going to call this package 1, and then we are going to name it, we're just going to do a hello world for the starters, but hello word, okay, world for starters. And I want you guys to check public static void main parenthesis string bracket args parenthesis. I will explain what that is and why you need it in the future. Name type not valid. Oh, that's why. I need hello underscore world. Okay. Sorry, no spaces in names. Alright, we're going to finish that up, and here our script pops up. So, I'm going to, man, I feel like I'm hitting my mic. If you guys can hear that, I'm terribly sorry. So, I'm going to explain what some of this stuff is. Package 1, semicolon. That is a command to let the script know and let all of the scripts know, hey, this is where the package is located. This is the file that we're in. This is our package. This is kind of my umbrella. This is the group that I fit with. I fit with group package 1. I fit with that package. And then here it says public class hello world. So this is going to be the name of your class. Whatever you want your class to be. If you are not in an IDE and you're just in Notepad and you are at the very bare bones, or you're in Notepad++, your whatever this is that is what your class name will be. As you can see, it is very well declared here that this right here is a class, and it is public. So you're kind of reading backwards, but it is a public class named Hello World. Hello World is a class that is public. Anyways, these little squiggly brackets are they show and they determine what is the code that will fit within and that will be executed within the, excuse me if you can hear my cat, but that will be executed within that segment of code. So everything has to be in your class. All of your code has to be in your class, unless of course your class script has multiple classes within it, which is something much more advanced that we will discuss later. But let's get into what this means. I had you check a little box that said public static void main parentheses string bracket args parenthesis. What is that, and why do we need it? Well, that is what is called your main function. It is your main function. It is literally the a function that you have to have, otherwise your script cannot run, and it will error saying no main function is present. There are certain exceptions, but that is once again for much more advanced tutorials later down the line. Anyways, this purely states that it is a public static void main. Main is the name of this function, and that's the function, that's the method. I really hope my cat doesn't run into my microphone here. He's trying really hard. Man, my cats haven't seen me in such a long time, so they're kind of loving on me. Sorry for that. Anyways, so it says to do auto-generated method stub. This is also called a method, function method. It's pretty much the same thing. We don't need that. As you can see, those 2 slashes comment it out. If we delete those, it returns to normal code, but it's just commented out for the command line to understand what's going on. String args, that is something that we'll explain later, but that's just kind of the arguments that you execute after you run a piece of code and reference the file name. Anyways, let's print something. So let's print a name. So we're going to system.out.print ln code recommenders is enabled. That's good. Okay. Print line and then colon. Okay. So what this is it's saying system, which is kind of like your console, out. So what our output is, print line. So it's just going to print some string. And then what we're going to do is in quotes, double quotes indicates string, single quotes indicates one character that you're going to be stating. So if I were to state the letter A, I wouldn't need string for that. I would just need a char or character, and I would just do single quotes for that. But since I'm doing a string, which is more than one character, I will do double quotes for that. Man, my cat is definitely in the way of all of this. My word. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're just going to print someone's name. So I'm just going to say Joe. That's going to be that's it. That's all of our code. This right here will, all of this work, we didn't do too much since a lot of it was automatically done for us, but all of this work literally just prints the word Joe. So if we press play here, we can see down in our console, actually we should save, don't want my cat getting on my keyboard, we can see down at the bottom here, it prints the word Joe. Now, if I wanted it to say a bit more, maybe I wanted it to write a story. So, Joe is a nice man. Sorry, my cat's clawing my microphone. His family... Can't spell. Joe's a nice man. His family and friends love him. My name's not Joe. Too bad. For all you Joes out there, you are a nice man, hopefully. Anyways, we save it. Joe is a nice man. His family and friends love him. Now, this is not limited to words or punctuation. It is also inclusive of numbers as well. So all characters. All of these that you see here on your number line, let me just do this in a more ordered fashion where I do this. And all numbers. I kind of just ran my finger across all of that. But press play. As you can see, no errors will occur and it will print everything as it should. Now you're like, well, isn't Java used for math? And isn't Java can't Java solve math equations? And isn't it used for servers and advanced stuff like that? So it has to use math. And you've got math symbols in here. Why isn't doing a math equation and giving you an error? Since you can't add underscore, minus, equals, star, all that stuff. Well, that's a very easy answer. We're not outside of the string. So as long as we are in the parentheses in the string, it will just reference it as a string. It's going to ignore whatever it should say. It's just going to print it out simply because we have this print command and it's a string. Cat's hitting the mic again. Mercy. So let's do a math equation. How about that? That'd be fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to first make what's called a local variable. That's a variable that's only referenced in this method right here. It's not referenced in the class, and it definitely is not referenced in the whole package right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say int number equals int 2. Or sorry, I don't need that. I just need 2. Okay. So as you can see, it turned yellowish brown-ish color. That lets you know it is a local variable, and it's underlined yellow because it's not an error. It's more of a warning, just saying this local variable is not used. So we're going to get rid of that error by using it. So what we're going to do is we're going to say system out print line, and system needs to be capitalized, and I still didn't do it. Print line, and I also need to spell system right. Print line. Now the print line will print anything. It doesn't have to just be a string. So if we do let's say number, you see it's not a string. Now if we did this, let's do a string first as an example. If we did this, press play, it's going to print out the word number. If we remove the quotes and take it out of that string, Control-Shift-S to save all, now it's going to print 2 because it's referencing the variable. But what if we did something like int other number equals 2. I'm just going to copy that. Other number plus other number. Okay. 4. Because it took that and it said, okay, 2 plus 2 is, well, 4. And just printed that out. So that is a very simple introduction to printing out things for math words and just general console outputs into, say, a console. Now, there is other methods where you can print it out into bits of string in a window, and we'll be making a window later on. But for right now, that'll be all for this episode. If you liked the series, please, or if you like the idea of the series, this is just the first episode. If you like the idea of the series and you want to see more Java tutorials, please leave that in the comment section and hit the thumbs up. Also subscribe for Unreal Engine tutorials, which should be coming in about a month, and random gameplay segments, and hopefully more Java in the future. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Introduction to Java for Beginners, and hopefully I will see you the next time. Thank you.